Hey y'all, what's going on? This is your boy J.DAREL stepping back into the sanctuary for another video, another review. Remember, before we get into this video, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, leave your thoughts and your opinions on the episode down in the comment section below, and make sure that you follow me on all social media sites. This is Love and Hip Hop Miami Season 1, Episode 3, Hey Stranger. So let's go ahead and get into it. We kick off this episode with Bobby Lights is going out on the town with his boyfriend Jeffrey. They talk about spending more and more time with each other, and in a sense, basically, really wasn't a full-on conversation. But what I got out of this relationship, I really don't think they're ever going out in real life. I don't think they would ever go out in real life. But I really think this relationship consists of is basically Jeffrey is basically with him because of Jeffrey did. Jeffrey's basically with Bobby in a sense, basically because he helped him go over a big obstacle in his life, coming from DL and coming and living his life out as an openly gay man. Other than that, when you look at looks, I don't think that Jeffrey was ever interested in Bobby at all. And we're gonna get into that later. The second scene we see Bobby Blue Spectacular Pleasure P meet up to talk about last week's performance as well as last week's debacle with Shay, Bucky, Johnson, and Baby Blue. Of course, there was a heated argument, some tension, as well as a lot of disrespect, name changes that was going around. So they meet up to talk about it, and Baby Blue, of course, steps up and be like, you know what? Just to go ahead and set up something, I will apologize for her. That's not my MO, and that's not who I am. I definitely did not mean to call her name and disrespect her like that, but she was mad disrespectful, so I retaliated. And Pleasure P also talks about what happened last week with his ex-girlfriend popping up on him and basically trying to rekindle what they had previously 6 years ago, in a sense. And my thing is, I think she just pops up because she thinks that, hey, if Pretty Ricky can go with the way they went through and get back together like it played out in the blogs, I know if I left him and we didn't go through half of what they went through, I can definitely come back and try to rekindle what we had because I'm missing him or whatever it is. But basically make him second guess what him and Shay has going on and kind of figure out what if things went right, how would we go? So that's where he is, basically in between the two. Michelle Pooch goes out on time with Malik. They check out this club. And we also find out that in the scene that Malik is gay. But he's basically still DL, has not come out the closet yet, and basically using Michelle Pooch as basically his girlfriend. Not really his girlfriend in the sense where, hey, you're gonna be with me, we're gonna go out, but basically since everyone thinks that, he's basically playing the part because he has not come out yet. And basically the only reason why he has not come out yet is basically he's battling that thing as far as entertainment wise. He's a brand ambassador for some of the biggest names in Miami as well as all over the world, and understanding that he thinks that when he comes out and being associated with the gay male LGBTQ community, that it could possibly affect his coin, affect his pocket. So he's not trying to get in to that arena at all. Next scene, we see Prince in nightlife, and he's hosting with the NFL star. And in this scene, we basically see that he's out hosting, and his girlfriend Liz is blowing his phone up. 35 text messages, 35 missed calls, and 11 text messages. So basically talking to the NFL about how he cheated, how his girlfriend is not trusting him, how he has to play his nightlife and tend more to his job than with his girlfriend. And then we also see that plays out because she also meets him at the club the next following morning while he's at the club with the bartenders, and they basically argue and have this childish argument. It's just ridiculous. We see in the next scene that JoJo is introduced to the JoJo is basically introduced to the viewers. She's Hispanic and Arabic. Her dad is mean as hell and basically uses money over his kids and his ex-wife, or his soon-to-be ex-wife's head. I mean, he treats them like shit. If he's not what you want him to, if you're not what he wants you to be, and especially if you need him financially wise, he's going to use it over his head. He's very arrogant, very disrespectful, very mean, and very, very stern. Basically, she asked him to support her with the J.DAREL boutique, which she's open. He gave her 6 months if he's going to invest in her to get it up. If he doesn't, then it's going to be a problem. And he consistently hangs it over her head. He's just a real asshole to me. It's just ridiculous. So Steph LaCure and Amara La Negra basically meets up at this park in South Beach, and basically tells Negra that they met up with Young Hollywood at a party, and he basically agreed to apologize. So they're gonna meet up at JoJo's boutique, which is everything's already set up. So we get the next scene where Shay and Pleasure meets up and talk about the relationship, talking about where they're going, and she finally sees a side of Pleasure that which she's been wanting to see since she's packed up and moved her 3 bags to Miami. And she talks about apologizing and how she was so wrong about the debacle with her and Blue. So she has agreed to speak with Blue and meet up with Blue, and Blue has agreed to apologize. And of course, in this scene, Pleasure P still have not owned up to the fact that he's having mixed feelings while he's with Shay as well as his ex-girlfriend. And she kind of catch on to it, but it still doesn't ring a bell when she's giving him all the accolades of you're everything I wanted and the man and finally got it. He's like, nobody perfect. It's like, you kind of giving yourself away. Excuse me. I'm like, Pleasure, please, if you're not going to confess, then I'm going to need you to stop throwing out them subliminals. But anyway, we get in the next scene. Malik basically DMs Jeffrey to meet up at a straight club they used to date 6 years ago. Both were DL on the DL and got into a serious relationship, and basically Malik let the relationship go because he didn't want to get it out there too much, but they were in love. So in this scene, we see Malik get extremely emotional. Everything begins to come up, and basically the reason why I said Bobby Life and Jeffrey did not mix based on looks and based on how they acted, because you can see the real deal at the bar. You can see the way Malik looks at Jeffrey and Jeffrey looks at Malik. You can tell there was a soul tie, you can tell there was a relationship, and you can tell there was love and emotion impacted all into this conversation. Malik basically owned the fact that he messed up. He left him alone, did not explain to him why they left, what was going on with his situation, or his personal thoughts within them going out and basically acting as friends, but we're really in a relationship. And then looking at Malik giving him that look like, bitch, at the end of the day, we still can get it in. It's like, but Malik has that sneak. You gotta watch Malik. I mean, you gotta watch Jeffrey. And Jeffrey has that look. He gives you that model, like, star in the sky look that makes you forget about everything if you're looking at it. But basically, Malik gets all emotional and walks out while he's pouring out his heart to him. Of course, producers come running after him. He basically said, I fucked up, he's with someone, I've messed up, and owning the fact that I still love him, I still want to be with him. And then Jeffrey walks in and they talk, and in the middle of them talking and understanding that, hey, I love you, I still want to be with you, and flirting with each other, they kiss. But let me get into Mona. Let me talk to you. We see you, okay? We see you for your works, and we see what you're doing. You messed up with the Miles and whatever his name is, Miles and Milan situation in Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. So now you're trying to remake it up and trying to put this solution and try to put this coming out story back in our eyes. Think we're gonna forgive you, but I see you for your works and you're doing a good job. I see him coming out again on TV, so we're going to see how this play out. We're going to see how this plays out in the reunion. But basically, Mona is trying again. That's what this scene is giving me. She's trying again out of nowhere. Then they kiss on camera. So I'm wondering what Bobby Lights is thinking watching this, because you know they don't know who's meeting up with who, they don't know who shot with who, and they don't do green screens on the same day or ever. So this cast watches the episode just like we watch it and see what we see. So I'm wanting to know what Bobby Lights is thinking watching this scene and watching this episode, if he's not already played into it and it's just a storyline for them. But anyway, the next scene we see is JoJo's grand opening, and basically Amara La Negra meets up with Young Hollywood, and they talk, and he apologizes. Now, I'm on Young Hollywood's side on this one. Of course, you can't fathom the feeling that she's feeling with this whole situation of him telling her, hey, sweetheart, if you want to make it, you got to change the look and be open. At the end of the day, He's apologizing to you is the least bit that you should be accepting. Grow the hell up. I'm gonna need you to grow the hell up, accept the apology, and let it go. You fathering these feelings about this and him telling you and make girl, it's just bad. This is the type of world you live in. He's not gonna be first one, he's not gonna be last one. I'm like, girl, get over it. Stop being childish. Accept the apology. If you ain't gonna accept the apology and say you ain't gonna accept the apology, all this going back and forth and this childish play, girl, bye, go sit down. That's my whole thoughts of watching this whole scene play out with him trying to apologize to her and she looking at him and I looked at her like, girl, bye. You in an afro and an 80s ass jumpsuit needs to go. That was my thoughts. It's like I was with you in the beginning, but now it's starting to get on my nerves. Like, bye. So next thing we see the Pretty Ricky and Shay meets up. Blue pulls Shay to the side and apologizes. They men fences about him calling her a bitch, and she apologizes about the energy that she thought that she was receiving and giving out. That's what she gave. So they laugh it out, they kiki it out, and move on. Through the scene, we understand that Pleasure P ex-girlfriend pulls up. So while Shay's in the bathroom, he pulls her up and pulls her outside and they're talking and she's feeding him ice. And then Shay comes back out and meets Pleasure P and not Pleasure P, meets Blue and meets what is his name? His name's at the tip of my tongue and I just forgot. Well, Pretty Rick is outside and Spectacular. It's me, Spectacular, and they're trying to really just cover for Pleasure P because they know he's outside with his ex-girlfriend. But she's like, nah. Because she's like, where he at? They was like, I don't know, I think he's in the restroom. So my woman go get him. She's like, nah, I find her. Now she goes out to the restroom, out to the outside, which she already knew because the producers already let her know that. And how you know producers already let her know that? Because you can look in her eyes. As well as she goes directly out to the location. And as soon as she arrives, producers is already standing outside, ready to guard her. And what we see, she takes the damn ice and throw it right at that girl's forehead. When I tell you I fell out laughing, I said I cannot wait to see the rest of this next week. But we're going to get into this next week. Excuse me, my energy is not as it is as it was. I have been shooting videos back to back and I got a lot of pre-recorded stuff I have to release, so excuse me if my energy ain't what it used to be, but I just need to get this video out because it's already late and I need to get it out to my viewers. So this has been J.DAREL. I'm stepping out of the sanctuary, giving you laughter, realness, and reality. Again, this is Love and Hip Hop Miami, Season 1, Episode 3. Hey stranger. I'll see y'all next week for another video. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. And make sure you like and share. Follow me on social media sites. And share this video on all social media sites. This is J.DAREL. Peace.